Hi there, scrappers and crafters. Christine here from bugmarkcreations. I posted these a couple days ago, and I'm having a lot of feedback on how I went about making them on just mainly this part. We're going to go through the whole thing. I've already got some stuff already done, so they'll make this video a little bit faster. But what you'll need is, let me just get these out of the way. You'll need your Cuttlebug or some other cutting machine and embossing machine. You'll need your choice of embossing folder. I'm using the Dries Snowflake folder. I'm also using the Stampin' Up! Lovely as a Tree. I'm using this big long stamp here. I've already got it mounted and everything. So that, you'll need, if you're using a Cuttlebug, which I am, you'll need all of your plates. You'll need your A plate, your 2 B plates, and your C plate. So we'll need all of those. And you'll also need your stamp color, your ink pad color, and a sponge. I'm using Stampin' Up's Blushing Bride today. You'll also need a piece of white cardstock. This is cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then the leftover I just used an 8.5 by 11 sheet, so I just did that this way, and just use this leftover because that's what we'll use to stamp on. I'm just going to set that aside. I've already gone ahead and embossed it in the snowflake, so we have that. And then for the base card, you'll need a piece of whatever color you're going to be using that measures 8 inches across by 4.5, or by 4 this way, and it's folded and creased in half at 4, so it's a 4x4 card. So I'm going to set these two away because we don't need those right now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. There we go. Alright, so first off, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to stamp. I use one of these stamp pad things and a piece of scrap paper. So we're just going to stamp our main image first. Oh yeah, I forgot. You need a little tiny circle cut out of something that's sort of sticky, not too sticky. To be used as your moon, or it's the sun, however you want to use that. So we're going to grab our stamp, our ink, and we're going to ink up our focal point really, really good. We want this to be the darkest possible ink that we can get on here. Everything else is going to be lighter because it's going to be sponged. So we want to ink this really, really good. I'm hoping this pink works. I haven't made one in pink, so here's to praying. It doesn't much matter where you put it on here because you're going to be cutting it out anyways. I forgot to say you needed some kind of cutout, whichever shape you feel like using. I'm using a Spellbinders Classic. Can't even think. Anyways, so you just want to stamp it down. Sorry if my head gets in the way. Just wherever, it doesn't matter where, because you can figure out what you want to do after that. This is also where you want to figure out if you want more than one tree set. Like on this one here, I have 2 sets of trees, and the blue one I have 1 set of trees. So I just want to hold that for a few seconds and pick it up. It's not going to look very dark at first, so, and then I just take this and kind of figure where I might want to start. So I can use this grove of trees or that grove of trees. I'm thinking I'm probably going to use this grove of trees, but I want one more tree in there because it looks a little bare. So I'm going to just ink up a tree that I think is going to look really cute, which I think I'll do this side here. Like that. And just stick it right about there. So there, I have a big grove of trees, and it looks kind of messy down here, but that's alright. We're done with our stamp. We don't need that anymore. So I'm going to have it so it's like right about here, so it looks really neat. And this is where you want to take and figure out where you want your moon. And I'm going to want my moon just kind of peeking over here. I'm actually going to move this up so there's more sky. Have it there. Now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of don't like that. I'm going to go with this grove of trees over here. I think it looks cute. So we're gonna go with that one. So I'm gonna put my moon right here. You don't want to push it down too much. And then grab your scraps, whatever scraps you want. Just tear them towards you to make your skyline, how you want your clouds, your mountains, whichever way you want to look at it. We don't really need this anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that. Alright, and then just kind of figure out, play around with it, which way you want your mountains or clouds. So I'm going to have this mountain, I think I'm going to have it kind of here. Hide that moon just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that right there. Take the moon off because you don't want it. You don't want it to be a big circle because it'll look really funny, because no moons actually do that. And that's where you want to start sponging. You want to be gentle with this. You don't want to get it too inky. And you just want to barely go on the outside of this cloud right here. It doesn't matter if it moves, it just makes it look different, that's all. So you want it dark right on, and then just kind of sponge off just a little bit. So, and that's what it'll look like. So you got that. And then just continue doing that. I'm going to fast forward so you don't have to watch me do this 100 times. Okay, so now that you got your clouds in there, you can't really notice like that, but when it's like this, it looks so pretty. This is where you want to put your moon back on. Get that hair out of there. And you just put your moon where you want it again, which is right about there. Just kind of peeking over. You want to push it down pretty good, just on the one side. And this is where, remember which one you put up there, because you'll want to use it one more time, just to make sure that it's over top of your moon, just a little tiny bit. Just grab whichever one, doesn't matter, just make sure it's kind of covered along here, because you don't want to go over top of the moon on the other side, because it'll look really funny. Sponge it up, and then just again, the same thing as you did with the other ones, is just go around the moon, just like that. It might be a little bit darker on one side, that's totally fine. And now we have our moon. We got our beautiful sunset or sunrise with the clouds or mountains. And this is where we're going to cut this out now. So we don't need our ink at the moment. Still keep it out because we will be needing it again. I'll set that aside. We don't need our mountains again for right now. We may. I don't know. So we're going to bring in our Cuttlebug again. You need your A plate, a B plate. You'll need this. Send it downwards. If you want to use something to hold it on there, that is a very good idea. So I'm actually just going to use my moon and stick it on so it doesn't shift. And then you need your C plate. So A plate, B plate, paper, the die face down, cut side down, and then your C plate right on top, and then just crank it through. I crank it through twice just because mine isn't calibrated good enough to go through it once and cut. And there, it's all beautiful and cut out for us. We don't need our Cuttlebug anymore. This is the time where you'd want to run it through your folder through to make it pretty. Alright, so we don't need any of that anymore. Keep the moon close, keep your other stuff close just in case. You just want to set this down. So I'm going to actually do it on this one here so you can see it. Alright, so we now want to bring our ink back. So we'll just bring our ink pad back in. Just kind of dab off so there's not so much on there. And just come in very ever so lightly just on some of these clouds, just to bring a little bit of depth to them. Just kind of color them wherever. You don't have to have it perfect. Just gives it a little bit. And that's about all you really want to do. It's just a tiny little bit just to keep it all there. And then you want to get this really, really, really inky. You want the outside of this as dark as you can get. I start off of my thing and work my way in. Just like that. So it's going to be really dark. On the bottom, it doesn't much matter if you get too much on, because we're just going to be coloring over this anyways, just like that, to make the ground. So I'm going to fast forward this so you don't have to watch me keep inking. You don't want to make your moon colored on too much, just because you want it bright. So, and that actually looks really pretty to me, so I'm just going to leave mine as is. You can go on however you want. So we now have that is done. So you can either bring it in like this, or you can pick it up. I actually prefer to pick it up. So you just sponge just like that. Make the corners kind of rounded. You can do as light or as dark as you want, whichever suits your fancy. So again, alright, so this is done. Now that I got that down, I'm all inky. Alright, so we want to bring this in. Don't need it at the moment. But that's that. There. Alright, and if you want to pop this up, totally up to you. Go ahead and pop it up. But I'm actually just going to use the liquid glue. I'm just using Tombow Aqua. And you want to have it so it's about an 1/8 inch border on all 4 sides. Just like that. Oops. There we go. And there we have it. We have another gorgeous, gorgeous card. If you want to add some Wink of Stella or some glitter of some sort, go ahead. I'm just going to add some of this just because it makes it look so pretty. So there we have it. We have our other card. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be back again probably in a couple days with another beautiful card for you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.